This isn't the same as those other shows, my friend. This is on a different level. You know that. This is gonna be big.
Don't you know these people are pissed?
The important thing is that we're all together.
We were told that you were available for hire and we're desperate.
Right.
All right, troops, have a good day.
Let the merrymaking commence!
Hi, everybody, and welcome to NSS. This is the Reynolds Report. Actor David Schwimmer has been praised by a woman who was interviewed by him in 2011, noting how his sensitivity contrasted wildly with the behavior of Harvey Weinstein. Nell Minow has spoken of her meeting with the Friends actor in 2011 when he was promoting a movie he directed. The restaurant they were due to speak at was noisy, and so Schwimmer hesitantly suggested going up to his room. Schwimmer asked if she wanted a third person in the room. Minow recalls, "I haven't thought of that since it happened, but the Weinstein stories made me not just remember it, but remember it in an entirely different context as an indicator of the prevalence of predatory behavior and as an indicator of Schwimmer's integrity and sensitivity. This wasn't just about his being a good guy who would not have tried anything. He understood what it's like to have to be constantly on the alert, and he wanted to make sure I understood I was safe." There are few tales of rivalries that are as infamous as that of ice skaters Nancy Kerrigan and Tonya Harding. Harding has become one of the most notorious figures in pop culture for her involvement in a physical attack on Kerrigan, one of her main competitors just before the 1994 Olympics. Now, Harding's anti-hero story is being brought to the big screen in a movie entitled I, Tonya, and the trailer reveals it could be a juicy watch. The film stars Margot Robbie as Harding. It's in theaters December 8th. Sunday is National Mother-in-Law Day. Here's Jeff Foxworthy.
This guy's mother-in-law comes to live with him. And she's been living there for about a week, and he comes home one day and she's laid on the floor, and he calls 911, and the ambulance comes and gets her, and they take her to the hospital, and he's out in the waiting room, and the doctor comes out after a while, and the doctor said, "Well, I got some good news and some bad news." I said, "All right, well, give me the bad news first." He goes, "All right, your mother-in-law is not going to die." He said, "She's had a massive stroke." He said, "In fact, she's probably going to live 20 or 30 more years." He said, the problem is this thing has rendered her unable to speak." He said, "She just makes this horrible screeching noise like a parrot now." He said, "It's also disabled her from using her arms, and she can't feed herself." He said, "For the next 20 or 30 years, you're going to have to feed her baby food 3 times a day." He said, "Also, it's made her incontinent. You're going to have to change her diapers and clean her up every single day of your life." And the guy said, "Oh my God," he said, "what's the good news?" And the doctor goes, "I'm just kidding with you, she died."
Donald Trump told the widow of a soldier lost in Niger he knew what he signed up for. You know, if we didn't know better, Trump almost sounds like a guy who enjoys firing people. Trump is furious at the NFL players for their silent protest during the national anthem. Trump said, "Silent protests have no place anywhere outside of my marriage." Meanwhile, Trump has disinvited Golden State Warrior player Steph Curry from visiting the White House. No, not because of their political differences, because Trump believes Curry is from India. Hey, just search Trump psychological profile and crashed WebMD. Attorney General Jeff Sessions visited Portland, Oregon last week. After his visit, Sessions said, "You know, dreadlocks aren't so scary when they're on a white guy." Harvey Weinstein vowed he will continue to make movies with or without the Weinstein Company, although it'll be pretty challenging for Weinstein to do so without another thing. What are they called again? Oh yeah, right. Actresses. A bull was recaptured after running through the streets of New York City this week, which some people were wondering if that was just a metaphor of the Dow hitting 23,000. Apple was hit with a $440 million judgment in a patent lawsuit. Apple begged the court for an extension to pay the fine due to the time it would take to dig that much money out of the cushions of their break room couch. Time for Nobody Gives a F***. An 11-year-old Colorado kid was expelled from his Cub Scout den for asking a visiting state senator some tough questions. Apparently, the kid's also been barred from the White House press room. Hey, press rooms, nobody gives a f***. The victims in the Harvey Weinstein harassment scandal keep coming forward. Hard to imagine a guy would have trouble with women who has a face like Tom Arnold's scrotum. Hey, Tom Arnold, nobody gives a f***. And a New York bartender named Austin, Jeopardy's 5th biggest winner ever, was finally eliminated last week. The clue he missed was Methuselah. The question was, who is older than Alex Trebek? Hey, Jeopardy! Nobody gives a f***. Thanks, everybody. We have a new episode of the Reynolds Report for you every weekday. Be sure to check out NSS Live, starring Frank D'Angelo and his celebrity panel of guests, including the legendary Phil Esposito. Tuesdays and Thursdays. NSS Live.